Shalom. Shalom, Yeshua. First and foremost, I'm going to start by giving all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechak Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching 100% truth. Wa Barakatham to the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. May peace and blessings be unto your households. It's your brother Gadal from the Great Millstone Dallas branch, and in this in transit lesson, I'm just going to get into pretty much, blessed are your eyes for they see, man. Or, we are blessed that our eye, blessed for our eyes that they see. I'm saying that right. Because majority of people, they either don't know what's going on, or they're just like, I won't even say catching up, but just getting hip to like what's kind of going on, even though we've been in the know for years, months, weeks. We've been in the know, right? And Yahweh B'Shem Shah, he blessed us with that, as Amos 3:7, he revealed his secrets to his servants, the prophets, right? So Yahweh B'Shem Shah, he revealed his secrets to his men, and his prophets. What they do? They warn the flock, right? Teach the sheep, warning them of what's to come, right? Ultimately, right? And that's what you're supposed to be doing, man. Was that 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, 15:1, right? You kind of go into prophesy onto the hell. Oh, okay, yeah. Prophesy to my people. Let me speak you to the ears of my people. Prophecy, roughly paraphrasing, right? Which means to say before, right? So we've been telling you before that things was going to get worse. The MOTB is which is the microchip, as well as Neuralink. That's the MOTB, which means mark of the beast, right? We tell you not to trust in this devil, man, because if you do, he's going to screw you over. Sirach, 10 and 12 or 12 and 10? I always get that mixed. I think it's 12 and 10. So like it, but it's either 10 and 12 and 12 and 10. I don't know why I always get that mixed. I gotta look into that. But yeah, Lord Yahweh B'Shem Shah warns us not to trust your enemy, right? Because he's still the same nigga from back then, right? And that's what make this captivity so much worse, because back then, when we was in hardcore slavery, you knew who the fuck your enemy was, right? Jake knew who their enemy was. But now, they think your enemy, Esau, is your friend. And that couldn't be further from the truth, right? But when you get into this wisdom and knowledge and understanding, when Yahweh B'Shem Shai, put the wisdom and knowledge and understanding in you, right? You're able to hear the word and actually be able to see things for what it is through the spirit. Then you understand everything you need to know. Why you in this captivity, why we in such a low state, who's the wicked. You learn that everything that you learned really was a lie. And not only that you know all these things, you know that we're not going to be in this state forever. That there's better is coming, but you gotta suffer. You gotta suffer, man. You ain't finna get this wisdom and knowledge and understanding and think you finna be scot-free. Sirach 2:1 tells you that. If thou comes to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Right. So, with that being said, you gotta be prepared to be tempted by Satan. Right. That's the price. Oh yeah, what's that? Ecclesiastes. As it goes into he that increases in wisdom increases, or in knowledge increases in sorrow, as well as increase in grief. And Yahweh Shai, what was he? He's a man of many sorrows, having all that wisdom, knowledge. Yeah, he was a man of many sorrows, man. But right now we are supposed to be in the house of mourning. Ecclesiastes 7. Right? The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning. But I'd much rather be in the house of mourning, knowing what's to come, let alone not only know what's to come, but to be able to prepare. We could confidently say that we know who Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shah is, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. We know the true power, and we understand them enough. Understand his judgment's meaning, at least. Because you can't fully comprehend the Lord, but you can understand that, how judgment works, how it's not just some devil with a pitchfork. What did they say? Some Hellboy on some Hellboy shit. Satan's a Hellboy, and he's just wreaking havoc on earth, and the Lord ain't got no control over it. You learn that. We understand that. Let alone we learn how to avoid it. We know what pleases him and what doesn't please him. Right? So, you do what pleases him to the best of your ability. Yeah, also keeping in mind that, we're not gonna be able to get it 100% on this side, man. That's why it says in Genesis 5:11, rehearsing, right? In the place of drawing water, which is their captivity. There they shall rehearse the righteous acts. And that's what we're doing, bro. We just rehearsing the righteous acts. That's all we can do, which means put into practice. Right? We still keep the Sabbath to the best of our ability, even though we break it pretty much every single time. Every time we break it. Yeah, every time we break it. It's literally impossible not to break it, pretty much. And that's how the devil got this captivity set up, man. And even if he was to keep one Sabbath, what about all them other Sabbaths? Jake like to try to be like, well, I don't break it. You turn on the light, you're using electricity, right? You go outside, go pick up some trash. Hey, if I'm not mistaken, didn't a man die for picking up sticks on the Sabbath? Right? So you mean no chores, no nothing, you're just sitting there. Just sitting there. Can't go get your water, you gotta pay for it. Water bill. See, this devil, which means deceiver, Esau Edom, the physical counterpart of Satan, he just made it impossible. So don't be trying to, overdo it. You do the best you can. You don't have sex on the Sabbath, right? Don't be going and hit the gym on the Sabbath. Stuff like that. If you got to work on the Sabbath, then you can't do nothing about that. You got to work, or else you will get fired. But, Yahweh B'Shem Shah allows to understand these things and to, continue to work on ourselves through the power and spirit of Him to be more pleasing in His sight. So we're blessed to be able to understand this, to know this, and to move accordingly. Because there's people that know this and they understood this at some point, but it just wasn't enough. Right? They rather be in here, in this world, man. The scriptures say, a dog that returned back to his vomit is a fool that returned back to his folly. That's the majority of these people, man. 2/3. Well, really ones that fall out the truth. So yeah, man, just keep that in mind, man. We are blessed to be able to understand these things, take in what the prophets are saying, and we're able to prepare through the power of Spirit Yahweh B'Shem Shah of what's to come. And what's the best way to prepare? Getting your relationship right with the Lord, with Yahweh B'Shem Shah. Right? Praying without ceasing, constantly trying to, ask for spiritual things, trying to do better through the Spirit, as well as enduring the trials and tribulations you do got to go through on a day-to-day basis. That's just how it is. And ultimately just hoping that, we are worthy to, obtain mercy, man, from Him. But the scripture says, man, you got to put on as the elect. So you got to be doing what the elect will be doing. You can't be sitting there just, woe is me spirit. That's a good way of not to make it. It's a good way to fall out and just, not make it, if that's what you want. But what else? But yeah, that's all I really had. Oh damn, it's like yeah, this alarm went off. But yeah, anyways, Lord willing, y'all was edified. I want to end it off by saying, call halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rechakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And until next time I say, Shalom, Yeshua.